afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's session on the Excel. And as you can see on my screen, we have a guest for today's session. And the topic is something hopefully you will find new and useful. Obviously, it is not the usual aspect of Excel. It deals with Power Query. So anytime we do stuff that relate to Power Query, a lot of people find it new. So I'm hoping that it will be worth your while. And as for speaker, we have Iheagwara is the guest speaker for today, and he's an MCT, he's a Microsoft certified trainer. He's also got the MCDA, Microsoft Certified Data Analyst. And as you can see, there's a lot of data, this data, that in his profile, right? So let's just say is datafied or whatever it is we call people that are fully into data. So without taking too much time, I call up stage Ifeanyi. So Ifeanyi, the stage is yours, and I'll stop sharing my screen so that you can take full control. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so today I'm doing the automation of. Okay, let me share my screen. So, yeah. Screen visible?
I think it is coming up.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
It is. Okay. Okay, so today we're looking at a regional sales data, and we're looking how to use Power Query in a way to automate the data, in the sense that, okay, so something like this, maybe we'll put, yes, we want to see this column. This is the same column. This is the same data as this, which has store ID, city name, countries, country code, states, and population. Then, okay, so I just collected some columns from the data set, and see a way which we could maybe if you select the columns you want, instead of maybe normally if you want to copy, you want to get data from this using Power Query, you probably go to Power Query. Okay. So are we all familiar with Power Query? Hello. Are we all familiar with Power Query?
No, some of us.
Some of us. Okay. Okay, so Power Query is also a section of Excel in which you can also do some data cleaning. Most of the stuff you can do on your Excel, you can also do it in Power Query, but Power Query is slightly maybe more powerful. So like this, maybe for this, you could use first row as header, as you're saying. And if you wanted to remove, normally if you want to use Power Query to get some data, to get some columns, we'll probably select the columns you want and remove columns. Okay. But today, I'll show us in a way which we could select the column we want by just maybe using this table. So now, because we want column ID, once we want to see maybe just the country and column ID. And if we come to data and refresh, it picks, yeah, okay, yeah, this also, yeah, so it picks everything that has here. So the column ID, the country, and the country code. If instead I just want to see just countries, and I come here and refresh, it picks out just the countries was. So I have to like literally go to Power Query and maybe always, how do I put it, move columns and that. So it's all like in an automated way. So that's what we're going over today. Okay. Yeah, so for those that don't understand Power Query, why I get to Power Query, I would maybe explain about or show some instead of Power Query form. What I get there. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, I want to open a new Excel sheet. So this data, I want to copy everything. So Control Shift down, then so I come here and self-copy the data set. This was supposed to happen. Oh, it's Power Query to do that. Okay, so this is our data set. Okay, so the first thing I'll do, I'll open Power Query. So to access Power Query, you can go to data. Then this session, this is where you get data either from the web or from any other database you use. So the data I'm getting now is from this Excel sheet. So I put from table stock range. Okay, so the first thing you often do where you get to Power Query is to look at your data, is look at the columns. So the headers, sorry. So from here, we'll see that the headers these are not our headers accurately. So if you come to Power Query, there are a lot of features available here. You have your refresh, the properties. You can also come to view where you can see the column quality, quality, sorry, profile and distribution. You can also remove data, replace and change your data type. So we'll also change the data type of some of this data as we go on. So come here to use the first one as column. So another amazing thing about Power Query is the fact that it always records your steps as you use it. So next thing we'll do now is to look at our data types. Okay, so this one is showing so we'll leave it as text. Since, like I mentioned, this is a regional store data set. So this is an ID column. No, even though the ID column looks like a number, it's just more of a identification. So we'll leave it as text for now. We'll also leave the city name, the country. It's also as text. This country code, this area code, all as text. Okay. Next thing we'll come here to the population. For the population, we'll give it as row number. The outcome income. You can also leave it as keep it as currency. For the mid income, the area mass, the mid income also be as currency. So we'll change the data type to currency. For the land area and land area, we'll leave it as whole number. The time zone, those leave for now as text. All right, so we've done this. Okay, so like I mentioned in the first one, we want to automate it in a way that want to automate it in a way that we'll pick some columns and it will return back the columns that we picked. So how we can do this is, okay, first of all, so after adjusting the data type, we'll take out some of the columns. You take out, let's say we'll take out everything. Or make it more offensive. Maybe and remove the other columns and leave just these two. Okay. Then we'll close and load it. But if I click this close and load, it will close and load it on my data type. But I want to close and load it on a different table, which will reflect our new result. So I can close and load it here. I leave it as a work in the new worksheet. Like I think if you're going to do this, you probably want a new worksheet. But so that we can see the results, I'll give it on this worksheet, and I'll select what part of the worksheet. Internet is smaller. Oh, what happened?
Oh, it seems like it crashed.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it crashed.
Yes, it crashed. Okay, so after this all over again. Okay, now this. Yes, probably crashed. Okay, so let's do that all over again. So I'll take everything over again.
Someone is asking for the workbook. Is it? Oh, I think, have you given me the workbook already, or we are going to give it to them after?
I was going to give it to them after, but doesn't want to be doing it as I'm going. I could send it across.
I think it's safer we do after, so that it won't be a case of anybody mixing the steps and then having to say repeat. Or I don't know. If it won't take time to send, I could send. If you have a version, you can email, so that I could do that to anyone.
Okay. Let me just. So let me send it across.
Okay. Grab it.
So concentrate.
Okay, all right, thanks. So I'll just grab it and upload and share the link for them.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so sorry about that earlier. Okay, so from here, like I mentioned, we'll pick from tables to headers. Okay. We'll adjust our data types. So this will be things was text. This is okay. Population income. So this will that's a mistake. Once I'm done now, I close and load it. There's just a worksheet. Nothing. Leave it there. Okay, so if I move to other side, this is my table. Still loaded. Okay. So I'll make it smaller so that we could have a better view of everything.
I've shared the file in the chat
Right.
box.
Okay, so they could follow along. Okay. So the minimum of this stuff is so that we'll pick the table we want, and it gives us that table, and it returns the table we want, and it doesn't return the table we don't want. So to do that, the first thing we have to do is we'll first of all like kind of like pretend that that's what's happening. So we'll pick out the table we want. So let's say we just want the first two tables, and we'll move every other column. Then close and load. So yeah, so this is what we saw now. Okay. So the next one I'm going to do is our tables name. So this our table is the first table, so it's called table 1, and this one is called table 2. We could decide to change it, or we could just leave the table for now. But okay, so we'll just pick out our columns, the headers, which is what we're going to select. So copy the headers. We come over here and we paste it. Well, we'll paste it in transpose way. Then for this instance, we can decide to name this one of the columns. Then I'll call here maybe this how we select. But for us to select, we could decide to maybe use something like an X, or maybe they write something and it gives to them, or we could just so I decided to use the data validation. Example of the X, what I meant is something like this. Just occur. Okay, so this. So whenever I keep this X, it returns back the table it wants. It turns out very refresh.
So I wanted to I want to check out something. Oh, you've done it. I was having this idea of also to in place of the refresh, if we do Alt
A
F5,
button. What?
Alt F5,
Alt X5,
Alt F5, F5.
F5.
So, but you click inside the second table first.
The second table, or this
Yeah.
one, this one.
Yes.
Okay.
So if we do
So,
the, let's say,
Alt
okay, you already have state. Let's say maybe you had more, you pick
okay,
more.
column.
Yeah.
Say
Okay, then you now click inside that second afterwards.
There's an Alt X5.
Yeah, so let's try.
Is that
Oh,
work?
awesome.
Right,
Okay.
is that a shortcut for
For
refresh?
refresh.
F5. Okay.
Okay, cool. I've been wanting to check.
Okay, so now we use this as our column name. We'll give it a color, maybe a lighter shade of blue. Okay. Then, so should we go over? Should we go over the using data validation, like the option, or using, just like a text or a number?
I think the data validation might be more interesting since everybody can type hex, but some people might like, oh, okay, data validation. So yeah, I vote for data validation.
Yeah, so data validation. Okay, so I come over here. For not to do data validation. From data validation, you pick a list and write out our list. So yes, and so okay. So get yes, no. Drag this out there. Yeah. So next we will make this, because this currently is though it looks like a table, it's actually not a table. So make it a table. So Ctrl A, Ctrl C, table as errors. Okay. Okay, so we leave someone as yes, just to someone as yes. We'll also someone decides to play around with them. We leave someone as no, only someone as no. This is no. This is yes. That would decide to put something like this. That wouldn't work. So yeah. So now we also open this again, this table now in Power Query, in Power Query. So from table from range, we'll put this table now in Power Query. Okay, so now let's name this table, since this table is one that's going to link, going to form a connection with our original data set. So we can call it maybe this one we selected. This one we selected. We call it selected for now. So now we come to our table. Okay, so for our table, the table names are all right, and so we'll change the data types to text and both to text. The next thing we do is we filter, because we only want to pick out those that says yes or those that says no. So we filter it. So select all and we select just yes. Okay. So it gives us just this. So when we're done with this, since the main aim of us creating other tables so that we want them off like a list. So whenever we pick this and this stuff appears as a list, and those are the table that comes in. So we delete this column. Column.
Yeah, do the pages, right?
We have a bag or a CD?
No. No, we don't.
So next thing we'll cover this to list.
Oh, this is cool.
So now it's not a list. Then when it's a list, then now we close and apply. So I never selected. You're saying this what I never selected, because since we're going to use this. So going back to we'll close and load it now. But we'll load it as a table, but we'll load it as a connection.
Cool.
So now it's got it as a connection. Okay. So now this where we kind of play around with it. So we'll go back to this initial table. So this table, as well, you know, is kind of whatever we pick here comes here, and we want it to be this should be the determinant. So we'll open back this table, we edit back into Power Query, and now we'll play around with our M codes on Power Query. So as we know, this was the source, as I mentioned. The source is table 1, which is our initial table. We change the data type, and here we comes to. So this is the part. So in this part of our M code, we could say that it's selected. Like we're saying that it selects column, change types, and these are the columns that are selected. So we'll just change this to that table selected. You see it changes. So whatever we select on this our table, whatever I selected here is whatever column we'll get here.
Please, sir, can you just do that part again? It would be nice to see it the second time.
Okay, so let me discard. Okay, so like I mentioned, this third column that I created is the connection to this other two, and this column is determined by this column gets inserted from table 1, table 2 gets inserted from table 1, and table 3 is just more of a connection to table 2. So open back the initial period, and like I mentioned, the guess is data from table 1, and they will change the data type so that the data type will always be whatever like the initial data type we want. And then this is the part, so we remove other columns. I mentioned that we should remove the columns so that it's just so that Power Query will give us the M code, and from there we can just edit it off, writing the new code for that. So the data type here, it says table, select column, change type, which was the previous step, and then these are the columns that I mentioned. So this is our selected. Remember, I named this column selected. I named this table selected. So I'm basically saying, okay, like this table should is like you should select tables that are selected. I close this bracket and I remove the previous stuff, and you see that?
Yes, cool.
So now we'll close and load, and the connection is there. So if I come here now and I pick this as no, let me say this is also no. Because I say I only want to see, so it's only error code and medium white font that is yes. And yeah, it said Alt F5. So
Yeah.
Alt F5. Okay. Alt F5. That's what appears.
Wow. This is cool. This is really cool.
If also press no. So if I press up F5, it's also refresh. Okay. And so this so Alt F5. Okay, that. So with the only advantage of using a data validation over using, what I put it, words, is that in words, if we say we're going to select maybe the person should type OK there, someone could type OK. I could decide to type capital letter OK. Then I could decide to maybe use a space and OK. It to be an OK with double space. So if we're going to use a words like the other one, you have to probably do a lot more data cleaning in Power Query, because if you're just using data validation. So what I was going to show it, but I didn't know if that was okay.
No, it's really great. Any questions from anyone? So, do you find this quite interesting? And more importantly, are you seeing how you can take, very ordinary things, just had a small kind of a magic sauce on it, and you do something really amazing. All of us who have used Power Query know how to just remove columns and do all of load to connection, but not so many people have ever thought of having to use it this way, where you convert something to a list and you go plug it back in another step, and that begins to drive a new functionality in your work. So I would like to hear from us in the house. Anybody have some comments, opinion, questions? You can unmute and speak, and if you want to type it, you can type in the chat box. Or are you all good and you want to go back home? We're not go back home, like you want us to end the session now. I know some of us, so I can see our names, huh? Who should I start with? Andrew, Elvis, Chiamaka, Grace.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Sorry, some of us joined late. I don't know. Maybe they can quickly do a rerun here. If we have the time, yeah. If we have the time.
Yeah. Let me know. Let me leave it to our guest, our presenter, to be the one to.
Okay. Yes. I could do a rerun. Or maybe this time I will use Data and Analyst. I'll use.
Oh, thanks so much.
Okay. So the practice file has been sent in.
Yes, let me resend it in case people did not notice. So I'm going to resend the practice file in case you joined really late and you cannot see the chat message that shows the practice file.
Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, so this is the practice file. So let me download this. I want to.
Oh, okay. So someone is saying that they want to walk along as you are doing it, that they want to also be able to do it with you. Okay, that's a nice one.
Okay, so as you can see, I downloaded the same practice file as you. Yes. Okay, so this is the practice file. So you could turn on your computer as well as I'm doing it.
I don't know.
Okay.
It seems the thing is not clear here.
It's not clear. Okay, let me share.
Where I'm here, I'm barely seeing. Very faint here. I'm very sorry.
Can you see it now? Oh.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear you. Yeah, can you see it now?
I can barely see anything. I barely. I don't know. It's from my end there.
When you say you can barely, when you say
it's
you can,
actually visible.
is it that it's blurry or you are not even seeing anything? So if I can, okay, great.
I'm saying that I cannot even see any letter. I can't see any letter.
Okay.
Usually
That's
that
because
internet.
that's because
It's your own internet connection.
I don't know if it's happening to anybody over there. I don't know. Maybe it's from my end there.
Can you see now?
For mine,
Let me see.
Can you zoom your screen? That might be not you, Ifeanyi.
I'll zoom it, but still I can't still see what is written in the columns.
Okay, good. Usually it is internet then, because the Zoom and Teams, all of them, they adjust to your internet speed, so they prioritize speaking over text.
Why do it? I will grab this. I will grab it like this. Once you are doing it like that, I'll follow it like that.
But worst case scenario is that you can always fall back on the recording. The recording will also have the quality of HD. So because some people have messaged that they can see, so that it doesn't look like we now drag and struggle to finish.
Thank you for the info. Thank you. Well done, sir. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is our data set. It just lists just stores in the variable of the countries and they household with their income. So the first thing we're going to use Power Query for this. So go to Form Tables for range, click on it. My table has headers, yes. So open our Power Query. Okay, so normally, I also forgot to mention. So normally, whenever you put Power Query, if anybody opens now, most like Power Query already, how do I put it? It automatically detects your data type. So you could always change that setting from here, and it's probably going to be here, and you can change it to here. Should never detect data type. Okay, so cancelled. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, I'll look at the data. So I'll look at my data set now, and I'll change the data types. As you can see, it's AD123 this month data type. So I'll make all these that kind of ways or the main something or just identity, like area code and store this thing to change all into text. Then we'll move to population. Population is a number, so we'll change this as a number. If for any chance, maybe let's say now household's income, so be currency, but now also make it number, we could always close it. You could always close the step, or you could also redo it. So yeah, we close the step. Center is the median income, also going to be currency. The landmass will also be a number. And the time zone, we'll leave it as test for now. Okay, so are we here?
Okay, so Jerry and everybody who says they want to practice along, can you confirm if you are exactly where he is before he goes ahead? As usual, you can type, you can thumbs up, you can, what other ways? You can unmute and say, so whichever you do will help us know. Okay, good. So someone has confirmed that they are exactly where you are. So I guess that's a green signal for us to carry on.
Right. Okay, so the idea of this was that we wanted it to pick out some columns, and it returns the columns we picked out. So what we're going to do is we'll move out. We can just move out any column at all we want. We will pick out any column and we'll move to the others column. So let's say we're moving every column but countries and state. So I will move other columns beside this. So I'm leaving those countries and state columns now. So that's this. Then I close and load it. So I guess ideally you probably want to close and load it in another worksheet, but so that you can see like the result of what you are doing. For now, I'll just leave it at this existing worksheet. And I'll come to, so I'm leaving space for the table which I'll fix, which is, I'm leaving those visibility. So 1, 2, 3, so I'll keep it there. And okay. And Power Query has loaded those two columns that I selected, which is countries and states. So let's make it smaller. Also make it a little bit smaller. Let's make results of the block. So let's do this. Okay, so you can see the two tables now. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do now is we'll collect our table headers, since these are what we're going to pick, which will determine what we want to see inside. So we'll copy it and we'll come here. And we'll not just paste, we'll paste it as a transpose instead. So it will be vertical. And yeah, we'll name this column name. Yeah, I'll call here selected. So the last time I did with data validation, but since you can go on YouTube and rewatch that, so today I'll use I'll just use an X. Okay, I don't do this. I'll just use an X. So the thing with the X is
sorry, we can also watch this one on YouTube also.
yes, you can watch it on YouTube. Like initially, the one I did initially, I used data validation. So that one you just pick from a list of options. But now I want to use text to select since so you now have double of it. So I can say maybe a different way of doing the same task.
Okay.
So we use X. So use X to select. So let me call this table X to select. So that's what we'll call this. So the following the text is that someone could decide to use X, or I can mistakenly just say I'm using capital X, or I'm using a space and capital X, or a space and actually small letter X. But our stuff should be smart enough to detect that no matter whatever the person type, the person means this X. Like no matter what was typed. What we're doing our data cleaning will solve that. So for now, let's give this one X. Then okay, space and capital X. Then that's capital X. Then let's say space and small letter X. So the Control A, Control C as a table. Okay, so now this is our new table, or table. So while here, or waffling in the moment, right? Then we'll go to data again and we'll open this in Power Query. So we'll do our data cleaning now. So first of all, we could rename it. You also leave it, but so that I'll remember the name I call it. Let me call it selected. So I've named it selected. Okay. So okay, so we have to clean this now. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go to the transform, which is where you do most of your cleaning, Power Query. We'll maybe capitalize everything. So no matter what happens, everything just appears as a capital letter. Power Query detects as a capital letter. We'll also go to format and we'll trim it. So no matter any space that was left, everything will be trimmed. So we've done this. Now we'll come here, we'll also filter that we wanted to just pick X. So I've done this now. Then we don't really need this table. What we need is actually our column head. So we'll remove this. And as you can see, Power Query is recording every step for us as we go on. Then we'll do cover to list. Since we want it as a list, we don't really need the table itself. We just need the list, whatever it contains. Then we'll come to home. Then we'll close and load it. But we'll not close and load it. If we close and load, it will appear as a table. So we'll close and load, but we'll make it as a connection. To only a connection. That's what you click on. Not as a table or anything. That's what's as a connection. So okay. So now we've done this. Even though we've done this, we've still not like actually linked the connection or actually created the connection. We've only created the connection, but we've not like linked it to what one point. So come to this order table, which is what we want. We want this to give us whatever is here. So come to this table. Let me just make this smaller. So come to this table. We open it back again in Power Query. And like I mentioned, Power Query records a step. So the first step here we can see is our source. It gets the source from table 1. Table 1 is our original data set. Then here was where I changed the various types. You can see it changed the types of each of them as we went on the encode. Then we'll come here to remove columns. So this is what we'll play around with now. So this is our select table. This was the initial one. and we named it. I named it selected. If you name something else, whatever is named there, you could copy it. So let's Ctrl C, copy. You come back to this table, and here in the M code is table.select, change types, and then it gives us whatever is listed here. If here, even before instance here now, and I come to if I instance here, we have countries, we have states. If I come in and I write states, I put comma this just be can't write was it capital, it was capital. Yes, state. And I press this. It says state appears. So whatever is here gives it to us. If I add another column name here, it will also give it to me. So I just remove this. And I put that column name there, like the name of the column that I wanted. Because I want you to give me whatever is selected there, basically. So whatever is selected, that's what you want to give it to me. Then I close and load. And it gives us now city name, country, state, and area code, which is what is here. If I come now and I remove this, and this, and this, and I press. So Mr. Michael showed me a shortcut us now. He said if you use Alt F5. So Alt F5. F5 instead of refresh, you can also come here and click on the refresh. Or okay, Control Alt F5, not Alt F5. So Control F5. So if you come here and you it refreshes it, it gives me just the table. So even though I come here now and I type X, if I come now, for instance, and I'm just looking for trouble, and I put space, X. I come here and I put capital letter X. I come here and put X. If I will come here and put a different distance, it shouldn't give me this because I only made it to select whatever is X. Yeah, whatever is X. So Alt 5. And you see now it's only going to give me city name. It gives me a city name. It gives me state. It gave me population. And it gave me population and gave me household. So it did give me, as far as it's not X, because that's all I picked. It just give me X, but different versions of X. So no matter what kind of X I put, if I decide to put capital letter X, this still won't work. 5. So it gives me city name, gives me state, and it still gives me the medium age. So as long as it's X to select, that's all. That's going to give me. So that's it. So that's the end of session. Are there any questions?
Okay, so thank you once again for going over it twice. So if anybody stuck, you will have to watch the recording because I don't think we can do it third time again. We're almost to the end. Let's check if there are any questions. Any questions? Let's check the chat. Oh, Jerry, it seems you are stuck somewhere. Oh, fortunately, you will have to watch the recording. It should be out by tomorrow.
Where's stuck? Okay, the connection table again. Okay.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Hello.
Which name should we search on YouTube to follow you? I want to watch anything from.
Okay. So, okay, you want to show? Okay, great. You can.
So you can click UrBizEdge.
Sir?
UrBizEdge YouTube.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So let's click on this.
So to watch this.
Yeah, to watch this. You also you just type this. And click on the link.
Maybe you can give the link.
Yeah, I'll send the link in the chat box.
Oh, okay.
Come again, sir, please.
Yeah, I just sent the link. Okay, so I'll send the link. You think I'll be sent to the chat box?
Okay, so any other questions as we wrap the session for today, as we wrap up this session?
Thank you for the run. Thanks.
You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay. So if no other questions, I guess we will just close the session. I don't know if Ifeanyi will share about the details for them to join the Power BI one that is happening in about 1 hour's time, and that we have a special guest.
Okay, so by 6 o'clock we're going to have a special guest and Power BI. And it's going to teach us more about bookmark two pages along with buttons and selections. The plenty was really long. Yeah. So Daniel will take us over using how to use bookmark 2Ps in our dashboards and make it more interactive and more interesting. But by 6 o'clock, and it's just an hour. So yes. Okay, so Grace is something about she's new to Power Query.
So again, just one last time. Okay, yeah, welcome, Grace. Power Query is something new and interesting. Well, not really new anymore, but it's something very worthwhile for everybody to be aware of. So again, let me just throw it out to the house again. Any question or comment? It can be a comment. It can be what will I say, like a suggestion or addition or whatever it is you want to say regarding today's session. You can.
Okay, let me copy it from. Okay, so we usually post stuff about Power Query, and also again during the webinar also shows some new stuff to consider with Power Query, along as give you a breakdown or intro to Power Query. So you get information from that from the weekly Excel webinar, which every Sunday, and also get from the blog. So I'll also post that, and also if you maybe at least once a week, if you visit once a week, you will see something new about Power Query or some other part of Excel, which should be used as business. But on the weekly webinar, most of the time we do stuff usually in the Excel about Power Query. And even in Power BI, also show stuff about Power Query. Since Power Query is on both Excel and Power BI. So I don't know if that helps you, Grace.
Okay, thanks a lot. So Grace, you have it there. You follow us on our blog to access more, and also on the YouTube that has been shared, you'll find a lot more resources too that can ease your way into Power Query. And with that, we have come to the end of today's session. And just to let you be aware that this session was brought to you by UrBizEdge. So if you have any training needs, that's what we do. We are purely into, let me just show you on the screen. So we are purely into data analysis training. I was just posting about the session that is coming on 6 p.m. Hope I copied this before posting. So if you go to UrBizEdge.com, if you just UrBizEdge.com, you come across us, and you right there on our site, you find out more about all our different services, trainings that are being scheduled to happen soon. So there's going to be financial modeling tomorrow, Excel happening in August, and so and just as you have tasted our training in this webinar, you can go on our site for more for free. You will see the tutorial segment. It's completely free. So depending on your interest, you can say for you are interested in Power BI, another person might be interested in financial modeling, another person might be interested in Excel. And as you go there, you will see the videos, you see free resources, even arranged by different sections and all. And that's for Power BI, Excel. You see also for Power BI. and you see equally for financial modeling. So we like to give value up front, so you at least get an idea of what you are coming for, not that we are just telling you in words that we are going to do this and do that, and you have no other proof of whether we even have the capability. So we try to give a lot of resources up front, and so please take advantage. Go on our website and take advantage of the blog also too. So if you check, you see we try to tell you about what's new. We try to share a lot of things, ideas, tips. So yes, you would also want to take advantage of the blog. And with that, we have come to the end of today. I'm just simply posting the website link so that you can see all those things I've mentioned. And I want to say a very big thank you to everyone, to our special guest, Ifeanyi, to all of you who contributed, Jerry. There was also someone who also, what did you get his name?
Grace, Jerry, Chiamanda,
Chiamaka. But there was also someone else, the person who wanted us to verify that we'll share the resources and also the video link. I saw his name. So we want to just thank everybody because Shegun, I think it's Shegun Akinyemi. So thank you, because even
that's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, and also Femi, yes. So everybody, we are very grateful. It is your talking that makes it also more lively for everybody. So we are grateful. We appreciate your presence and all. So we have come to the end. Luckily, it's exactly 5 on the dot too. So we stuck to time today. Have a very nice rest of the Sunday, and we hope to see you again.
Thank you.
Sunday. And so bye. See you.
Thank you, sir. So, God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.